Oh, great. That's
It
so
says
great.
on my end we're being live streamed.
That's so great. I don't see you yet, so will it come back to you or
I don't think, I think you might have to move your thing down to see me again.
okay, that's great. Hi everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I'm here with Melissa Keenan, and we are going to have a beautiful chat about the Magdalene, Mary Magdalene. And Melissa's taking a group of humans to the south of France, right? Not just France, but the south of France in September. And we were chatting about it, and it was really exciting, and I wanted to hear more. And I thought that I have a lot of connections to the Magdalene. I thought that it would be fun to have Melissa on to share about the trip, and maybe some of my homies would want to join this pleasure pilgrimage.
I
So
would love your homies to join this pleasure pilgrimage.
I think it would be delightful. I haven't actually really considered myself. Maybe my homie of me would potentially go. But anyway, let's just talk about what you're doing. And one of the things that I was really interested in is that you're calling it a Magdalene pleasure pilgrimage, which feels a little bit different than some of the other Mary Magdalene pilgrimages that I hear about. And I would love to hear just your take on what that means to you.
Yeah, thanks for the question and thanks for this chat too, Gigi. Um, I didn't really realize that maybe not everyone that connects to the Magdalene has this like deep awakening around pleasure, but for me, the whole journey with the Magdalene has been around pleasure and has been an invitation into unlocking deeper layers of pleasure, deeper permission for pleasure, deeper relationship to body and that like internal nervous system level. Yes, and this is delicious, and this is what I want more of, and no, that is not what I want more of. And as this lead in to an embodied sex priestess, which is what I feel I am, and probably that we all have this access to sexuality and spirituality, but Magdalene really gave me a mirror for that.
Mm.
Like so much was locked up until I came into relationship with her and finally felt like a almost a divine permission to really pursue my pleasure. And so I have, of course, the kitty came. Kitties are so all about pleasure.
It's so great.
So
It's
I
so
have a real desire for more individuals to tap into that power of pleasure. And it's I've found that it's about expanding our capacity. Like how much can we possibly receive? And that we get to deepen that all the time.
Mm.
So that is what this is about.
I love it. I love it. I think I'd like to, if possible, with you, um, like geek out a little bit about pleasure. Because I imagine, because I'm a pleasure worker. I'm an erotic embodiment guide. And one of the things that I know I have to do a lot with the people that come to work with me is kind of expand and almost redefine pleasure because most people think pleasure is doing it,
Doing
right?
it.
And so I imagine you're not taking a group of, how many humans are you with?
20.
Okay, so it's a decent group, but still pretty intimate. I imagine you're not taking these humans over to like teach them how to do it.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And I know I feel so irreverent to like kind of say it that way, but I really want like most of the main society thinks that that's what pleasure is.
Hmm.
And so give me some ideas of what. like if you and I were going on this trip or I was going with you, what were some things that you could help me understand that I might experience as expanding my capacity for pleasure?
Yeah, I love that. Well, I also think it's important to preface that, like, I don't directly intend to teach people things. Like, this isn't a conference or a seminar, but I do intend to guide people through experiences. And so there'll be an interweaving of visiting some of these ancient sacred sites that Mary Magdalene visited, that she also revered as sacred because they have these connections to like ancient goddess worship, which often had interweavings with this connection to pleasure. And then in our downtime and our connection time is where we'll get into some of these juicy pleasure practices. And so what does that look like? It's things like dance. It's things like feeling your feelings in your body. It's things like coming alive to sensation, having a meal so slowly that you get to taste every bite and experience the food in a different way, especially because everything's going to be farm to table from France. We need to taste that. We need to taste the wine and really be with that warmth as it enters your body and all of those things. Um, it's also going to potentially look like, nude bathing in the cold lake or in the cold river. And all of those kinds of things, even guided touch and things, because I think so often we're so untouched. It's like our senses are almost dulled because we're so untouched as human beings. So that is where we're going. It's like these nuancy places that we just take for granted. I've got my coffee here and I just drink my coffee and I don't even think about it. But it's such a pleasurable experience when I give myself the presence to it.
Yeah, I love that you brought in presence because I think that's something that has been um, like a new facet in my relationship with the Magdalene is a new mm, mm, to me presence has become this really beautiful I use this term a lot. I use this in our High Priestess book, but this presence is a disco ball in and of itself. There's these infinite facets that we can be present in our way of being, and the Magdalene has definitely that's been one of my transmissions or downloads that she has given me is a different way to be present. So I really love that you brought in presence. I feel like um, presence to pleasure or in and through pleasure is something that she has a really beautiful, special way in.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that anyone who's ever read anything about like deeper teachings of Mary Magdalene or could become familiar with the gospel that we have, the few pages that we have that she wrote, that it's about Gnosticism, which is this concept of self-knowing. And what better way to know oneself than through knowing what like turns you on, what brings you joy, what feels like that resonant full yes in your body. That is self-gnosis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Or even your no. Like,
yes.
right? Like sometimes our no's bring us so much closer to our yeses. And so, and that's all just really getting present to what we're experiencing in the body. So I really love this.
There's this other element too that feels important to like speak to. And I know this more as an embodied concept than like something to wrap words around. Like, I don't know why this is the case, but like we have to also carve space. There has to be destruction in order to access deeper layers of pleasure. And so as I was curating and working with my team around what sites do we go to first and what are we doing first, we decided that we're going to the Cathar region first. And the Cathars are a huge group of people who died protecting the things that they, felt Magdalene gave them. And, yeah, the final extinction was 1 million people at the base of Montsegur. And so we intend to go there first, actually, because there's something in all humans, I think, that relates to the martyr, that relates to dying for a cause that you believe in so deeply that you're willing to march down the mountain singing to your death. Like, oh, it's just big and beautiful. And that is our space to allow the fire to just consume, allow us to move the emotion and move the grieving and the things that like maybe have held on inside of us, to carve space to expand our capacity for pleasure as we then travel to the ocean and to the caves and things.
I've been to that land, and
Have you?
Mhm. Yeah, when I did my pilgrimage 2 years ago, and it is something to behold. Um, it's really palpable in the land, and the thing that I love about the story is the absolute ultimate willingness to sacrifice for the depth of belief that they have. Like, and I love that you shared about the singing, because it is such a um it feels like it's not a depth that I have been witness to, this belief, this faith, this willingness.
Mhm.
um it's like I feel like I could feel it or know it or have the resonation in my own system, but it's also like it's such a mysterious thing to me that I don't think I have witnessed that kind of faith in this incarnation. And I'm always curious about that,
Mhm.
like, and maybe it's here and I just haven't met it yet. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I feel like I know it in my bones, and I know it deep, deep, deep within my remembrance of who I am, but I long for it in this time. Like,
It's interesting. It's sort of this, well, I mean, growing up Christian, and this is not a Christian retreat, this is a very inclusive retreat. But growing up Christian, I feel like I was asked at such a young age, like, would you die for Jesus? I mean, I was probably 5, and they were like, if someone held a gun to your head, would you die for Jesus? And you better get that answer right. It was very intense. But it's because of that, I've been asking like this kind of question, like, what would you die for? What is something that you feel so? And I think you do have it, Gigi, because you have such deep passion for the things that you're devoted to. Maybe you just haven't ever had some some religious teacher in your face saying, "But would you die for
yeah,
it?"
yeah. I like feeling like it's such a great question. I don't know if anyone has ever asked me that. I suppose there are things that I would die for. I suppose that there are things. I think that I have such an interesting, yeah, maybe I do have it because I do have a different relationship with death. Like, of course, I just
Yeah,
also know that it can't be taken from me.
yeah,
So I don't, I don't need to, it's not that I don't need to fight for it. I'm not saying I'm unwilling to fight for what I believe. I also just know that what I can't be taken from me.
yeah. And
Maybe.
I love that. And like because we did bring up Jesus, like I feel like that entire story of what he went through is such a beautiful, like, he embodied that. Like, no, they can't take anything from me. So no matter how much I have to suffer or endure. And then Mary Magdalene was actually posed more with the question, I think, of like, but what would you live for?
Mhm.
We don't know. There's different stories that Jesus resurrected and then they ran off together and had a family, or that he didn't, and that she was alone most of the time. Most of the myths say that she showed up on the shores of Saint Marie de la Mer with two other Marys and potentially Sarah, who was potentially her daughter, and not Jesus. We don't know, but in that potential that she didn't have her one true love, her deep soulmate partner anymore, and for however long she lived after that, that she was then asked, like, and what would you live for?
It brings into me the sacred bedchamber and sacred union,
Mm,
divine union. And if that story is the story of divine union that gets to reflect back to divine union starting here, my divine union within, I think that this trip is an opportunity, this pilgrim is an opportunity to shed the things that don't allow you to be in full union with self.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I love all the different versions of the story because there is the shed, there is the tear apart, there is the separation, and then all the different stories of coming back or not coming back, but still living full in fullness, in the encompassment of full union. And so I think the thing that is irritating and also I love about all the versions of the stories is that it offers us all the versions of the stories so that when our version of the story is present, we don't have to question, is it okay?
Yeah.
Like our version of divine union with self is exactly the
Mm,
right story because it happens to us. So my prayer or wish is that these humans that get to go with you maybe get to touch into their own experience of divine union um, as they walk and can like kiss where the feet of Mary has gone, the Magdalene.
yeah. Thank you for bringing in that piece about sacred union, because that's exactly it.
Mhm.
Um, I think, well, the people that I see going on this retreat with me are people who are leaders and who hold a lot. And there's this opportunity to go and to really be filled again, in a deeper way. And, my hope is that we're doing things that fill us every day and weaving those things into our everyday. But to have these drop-ins where we allow ourselves to completely disconnect from all of the responsibilities except for the responsibility to self, and just be with that in ourselves, and to walk away really replenished. Some spiritual retreats, it's like about healing trauma and all the things, and you need a retreat after the retreat, and I don't see that for this.
Mhm. I love that. Yeah, I really love that. There's so many like things to do and places to go. And when you add in all of the healing that can or has to or is supposed to or planned to happen in between, it doesn't really allow the time to just be with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the land and the water. Oh my gosh, just feeling the connection to the water that is possible and her teachings through the water
Through the water.
is mhm, is really precious. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for you and for the
Thank you,
humans.
Gigi.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, in me and helping spread the word for you, is there any like anything that you want to make sure the humans know?
Thank you for that question. I think this piece around how the container will be held, that this is not a container where you're going to be led by a guru, because we're all coming together as our own inner guru, and those who come know the value of no longer outsourcing our authority. Um, that to me feels like one of my biggest roles is supporting that as a container, that all voices get to be shared, all lived experiences are celebrated, and cultivating that connection in the space with sisterhood. Um, and also that this is being curated with intention to inclusivity, to racial equality and gender diversity, and trans women are welcome. Femme presenting individuals are welcome, and that's important to me. That everyone feels very seen and held and celebrated in who they are and who they've come to be.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned the guru thing. I think that there's something so important that I think I learned, not specifically from Magdalene, but also very directly in there is no hierarchy. And
Mhm.
someone can lead a group, but be on the same level. And that it's like I see an altar of all these different goddesses, and every goddess has her own unique medicine and flavor and flair and energetic frequency. And it's really important to be in circles like that. So this feels really beautiful to allow um, individual frequency and expression to blossom or expand into even a more um, self, more
More self. Yes.
sovereign, yeah, more like sovereign self. And in the exploration through pleasure, I imagine is going to be such a permissionary for perhaps a lot of people on the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I see. And that idea too around integration time, like the way that I see that going is through circles.
Mhm.
Whether we're gathering around a campfire at the end of the night, or we're gathering around a circle inside of a cave, or gathering in a circle inside of the, castle ruins. But to then to do that in community and be witnessed and seen and celebrated among others.
I think that's so exciting. Well, I wanted to really open up that if anyone, I don't see that we have any questions yet, but if anyone has questions, at any point they can put them here on the chat and Melissa and I will watch, or I'll ping Melissa if I don't know the answer. But I just really wanted to open that up, that if anyone wanted to talk more about the Magdalene, more about the details, Melissa's going to put a link to the trip, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that feels um important. And I imagine we might do another one of these um, again before you go,
I love
possibly
that.
just to see how things are going and progressing. And
And
yeah,
this feels so yummy too, because we just launched Modern Day High Priestess. And we're right sandwiched in the middle between getting ready to launch Embracing Your Eros, which Gigi and I both have written for both of these books. And to me, this pilgrimage is the union of those concepts. Like it is modern day High Priestess and it is Embracing Your Eros, and it's doing all of that in these sacred lands of France.
Mhm.
So
It's really true. I really love that you brought that in because it is the marriage of that. And I am in agreement with you. This is not necessarily a sex priestess retreat, but it is a um, that is a core thread of opening up to that
Mhm.
frequency. And I'm just really excited and proud of you for going. I know you've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Yes.
And so I see you in like
Thank
taking the
you.
risk and putting your just being like, yes, 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 let's do this. And so I'm really excited for you. And I think it's just gonna I feel some momentum here coming.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. Yeah, it felt a little crazy. I kept thinking I need to go first on my own. I always saw myself taking women here. I
Mhm.
have no idea why. I just have always seen that. I was like, I have to go on my own first. I have to go on my own first. And finally the download came through like, no, you get to go with them at the same time. And so we have, some different tour guides and things that we're looping in to help support, because some of the trails, it's like, and then when the wind blows, turn left here or whatever.
Yeah.
So we have some support for those things, but yeah, it truly will all get to just go and be in that experience. For some of us for the first time, some of us it won't be their first time, but
Yeah.
uh,
I think it really will help take you off the pedestal if anyone seems to like put you
exactly.
there, right? So on one level, it's like you are right in the mix of I'm on this same adventure with you all, and I think that's actually really valuable and really important because that's part of your energetic frequency that you're really important to you to bring here. So I say well done in following and listening and just opening the threshold.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yay. Well, thank you so much. So grateful to be in your world and really excited to see like I'm on the edge of my seat watching your movie, just how it can
Thank you so
unfold.
much, Gigi. And
Yep.
we did get some highs in the comments too. Oh, you said hi back to
Yeah.
Lady Diana.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I couldn't get it to work, but hello.
Hi everyone. Feel free to ask questions and we can pay attention to the
Thanks
thingy
so
in the
much,
bottom.
Gigi, and
Yep.
thanks for the way that you hold space. It's beautiful. I love all of the different things that we're getting to do together. It's
Yeah.
very fun.
It's very fun. All right, I'll see you soon. Mwah.
Okay, bye-bye.